There's nothing like a good Civil War and Rise of Kingdoms. It's the thing that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, but people find themselves in this situation all the time, myself included. So in this video, I want to show you this Imperium KVK Season 3 kingdom that is now in a civil war that is tearing them apart. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and today's video is sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms. And you know your day is off to a great start when someone sends you a message that looks like this. Someone stole R5 and decided to start a civil war, and then a very long mail explaining the situation that is full of drama. So if you like Rise of Kingdoms drama and information about what's happening in the Rise of Kingdoms community, consider subscribing to the channel. I've covered many civil wars in the past, and I always try to highlight the juiciest, most insane civil wars that are happening in the game. So thank you for subscribing to the channel and tossing a like on the video. I also want to give a big shout out at the start of this to Myriad, who sent me the reports and videos and footage of this civil war, as well as the details you need, like what's in this mail. Hey everyone, Buns here. I'm the first king of 2844, and today I've decided to take back control of the kingdom. Now, you gotta love that they've used colors and bolding. They say, why? Well, at the start of this KVK, I quit council and told HM to lead since they felt they deserved the star and they were so eager for work. Let me tell you, anyone who's been king knows that you don't want to be king. It's the worst job on the face of the earth. There's no thanks for it, and everybody expects a ton from you, and it's a volunteer gig. It's the worst job on, literally, okay, not literally, but it's the worst job, okay? So he continues to say, though U0 has done a decent job with diplomacy and KVK planning, I'm disappointed with HM's overall management of the kingdom and so incredibly lazy council, with 2 to 4 people carrying the bulk of the work, even though we apparently have 10 plus council members. Lau from DT is MVP, though. She does so much. So I do like the recognition here of the people who are doing stuff, but it is very common for a kingdom to end up in this situation where the majority of the work is actually being shouldered by a small number of people. And most humans do not actually get what really good leadership looks like. I mean, really good leadership is empowering a bunch of people to think like, not exactly like you do, but to solve problems in the same way that you would, so that you don't even have to be there, and they would come up with a solution that is similar to or better than the one you would have come up with. That's sort of the goal of a leader. They can even step away from a situation, and the organization operates exactly as intended, even without them present. So anyways, people may disagree on that, but let's just continue on. They go to say, so I'm taking away some privileges from HM, that's another alliance, end of KVK rewards, and the star will be in DT. Well, the funny thing, by the way, is that right now, I'm not so sure they're getting a star. Their KVK is looking a little crazy. We'll talk more about that in a bit. So they say, rest assured, the rewards will still be distributed fairly according to the fighting contribution rankings. If you do not like these changes and cannot respect my rule as king, you're asked to leave the kingdom. Hey, bend the knee or get the hell out of here, bro. Make your choice. Bend the knee or get the hell out of here. And that's why the fighting started. Season of Conquest is right around the corner, and if we cannot work together as one kingdom, we will be completely butchered. That is very true. You will. I recommend you start prepping your passports as soon as possible. They are expensive. Yeah, I mean, bro, get out of here. Bend the knee or get out of here, King Buns. All right, Daenerys over here. Daenerys Stormborn gonna burn the whole kingdom. And so here is some of the fighting that I recorded. And this is in their home kingdom. And you can see, like, cities are getting rallied. This is right by the temple. I knew something was going on. I was told it was an Imperium kingdom, right, that was having this tussle. And they are an Imperium kingdom, but it's a KVK Season 3 Imperium kingdom, not, KVK Season 4 and beyond, Season of Conquest. That's not to discredit them in any way. It's just, there's a difference between a Season of Conquest Civil War, where you'd see a bunch of different commanders, and what you see here, which is like Minamoto, Charles Martel, Richard I, Alexander the Great, a little bit of Esong, bunch of Saladin. Like, I was wondering, I was like, why are these commanders all so early game looking? That's because they are in the early game. Ooh, there's even a Khan running around over here. right? So city's getting rallied while also the rally is getting swarmed. GG, man. Oh, and there's the rally on the flag. Dude, I mean, they're putting in the work here in their home kingdom to fight for who gets to retain the kingship. And, you know, like I said, I've actually been in this situation. And when I was in this situation, it was a very, very long time ago. It was in Kingdom 51. And this was before KVK even existed. So people were just bored. And a couple people started a sort of revolution, a movement starting in Zone 1. And then they pushed their way into Zone 2. And then they pushed their way into Zone 3 by the Lost Temple. And there was just all this fighting, man. So I'll remind you of this at the end, but I'll have a card up in the top for the playlist of this absolutely insane civil war that I have been in. So let me just say, I can empathize very much with a civil war situation in your home kingdom. Although these days, when we know there's KVK, it makes less sense than ever to actually fight it out. Things have to actually be, from someone's perspective anyways, really, really bad and unsolvable to decide, hey, you know what? We're going to do a civil war, and that's the best way to fix this. Lots of cities got rallied here, and I do have some of these reports. 56,000 dead for a Saladin Khan rally to the 97,000 sev wounds for the Saladin Esong city garrison, which, like, funny things happen in early seasons of KVK, right? Sirius, 127,000 dead for the rally, Saladin Khan. The city, Saladin Khan, 8,800 dead and 204,000 sev wounds. Remember, they are in home kingdom, and not everybody's sitting here with, you know, maxed out buildings. I mean, it's KVK Season 3, right? Like, it's the wild freaking West over here. Another rally, 71,000 dead to the 154,000 in the hospital, 17,000 dead for the Saladin Esong. I mean, you know I love the Esong here. I wonder if their AoE did get some folks. And then I've got video of this particular city getting rallied, and we're looking at an Edward of Woodstock. Yeah, baby, Edward Tommy. Hey, look, Banana Helmet is really good in the early seasons of KVK, and I have said this before. Banana Helmet, aka Edward of Woodstock, is a terrible invest if you're in the end game. But if you're in the early game and you're a big whale who doesn't care about the future of the sort of commander investments they've made, Edward of Woodstock's going to do work. Tommy's great in the Season of Conquest. She still holds value, especially when she gets a relic. I will be really curious to see what Edward of Woodstock can do when he gets a relic, if he gets a relic. But you can see their, you know, marches are in different formations. This is a KVK Season 3 kingdom. They already have formations. That means they have armaments. And if you have access to armaments, that means that your pay-to-win advantage can be quite substantial compared to another player, because there's just so much to prioritize at the start of the game here. I mean, you've got commanders, you've got equipment, you've got your armaments. There's just a lot to freaking do. Then here comes the swarm. This dude's going to ask for the report, which I believe that we will have in a moment. So, yeah, man, this player's got the Duke. So at the moment, this alliance is holding the temple because they've got a king, base title on them. That's the Duke. Swarm is in on this city. They're going for the burn, man. I do like the Charles Martel primary. I feel like that's a slam dunk choice. I kind of wonder, I don't know, garrisoning in early KVKs is weird, man. It is. Saladin with Esong is like a thing. Esong with Tommy is a thing. You have limited choices, and so, I mean, dude, how is this city still alive? They're getting swarmed so much. And they don't look like they have any health. There it is. The burn. GG, man. A lot of reinforcements in that city. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marches had reinforced it. Down to 91 million power. I imagine they didn't lose too much power. And swarming like this, you can really get caught. You can really get caught after the city sort of refreshes and you're swarming a really high power player. They were, as you can see, about 97 million power almost. So maybe their hospital's overflowing slightly because they're in home kingdom, but you know, it ain't all that much. You can look at their kills beforehand and after, by the way. So we're looking at 1.48 billion points for their KP score versus 1.49. So, you know, a small amount of KP they pick up from that little tussle. And then some reports from this. 17,000 dead for the city. And that was War is Spectacular. Chi-Chi. Oh my gosh, this clip. And it was 351,000 savs, right? And 1.2 million dead for the rally. That's brutal. Yeah, Charles Martel Constantine in this early of a KVK situation, that is a really, really good garrison. Wow, that power loss for the rally. That's freaking brutal, man. Big yikes. Another rally over here. This is the Edward Tommy rally. We're looking at 156,000 dead plus 549,000 sev wounds. So that means this player got reinforced a lot, by the way. To the 540,000 dead for the rally. Big GG, man. It's just so difficult to rally players. Plus the swarmers. Oh my god. 6,000 dead to 14,000 dead. 5,000 to 17,000. 3,000 to 22,000. 1,000 to 2,000. And 1,000 to 4,000 almost. 2 to 2. Wow. 1 to 1. Yeah, a bunch of swarmers. Of course, they get some loot. That's just the price of doing business. If your city is getting hit, you're going to lose some of your resources. Here's another flag rally, just to give you a sort of sense of kind of what this looks like, right? And you've got an Edward Tommy rally with a Charles Martel and what's the garrison? What's the garrison? I'm trying to peek the secondary. I think there's the Charles. It's got to be Esong? Okay, yeah, it's Esong. Esong secondary. I mean, the only better garrison I'm aware of for these early KVKs is weirdly enough like an Esong Tommy. And obviously a Charles Martel primary with mostly infantry is getting countered by these archers. Although the countering effect in Rise of Kingdoms is pretty mild. It's 5% more damage dealt and 5% less damage taken, I believe. Definitely let me know down below in the comments if you have some other information about that. This thing runs on for a while. I'm told this was a 10-minute rally, and it was sent all 10 minutes of footage. But let me jump ahead to the report here to save you some time. We look at this thing, and what do we have? Big rally here on this flag. We're looking at 432,000 dead to 714,000 dead. It's just hard to be the aggressor, man. Your dead troop ratios are just way higher. And to the credit of the defenders, I mean, they must have some really good armaments and some good equipment. I'm telling you, you can buy your way into some just really strong advantage with armaments, especially in the early game. So those stats go a really, really long way, especially in a home kingdom battle. There were, of course, just as I mentioned earlier, tons of cities getting hit. Here we're looking at an Ethelfled garrison, 36 million power just about, if I saw that correctly. And, you know, you may see a friend swarming a city, but I just remember so vividly. I remember so vividly in my first Civil War watching Bujan and Hulk. And if you know those names, do me a favor, throw a like on the video. These are old school players, okay? Bujan and Hulk swarming cities, and the city was like 25, 30 million power, and they kind of knew what they were doing when they were defending. And these guys got freaking wrecked swarming the city because, like, yeah, if you know what you're doing and you have a lot of troops and you've got a competent city defense, I mean, you can see these guys are all getting sad-faced. So if we have access to this report, which might be coming in just a bit here, ooh, it's just so brutal. And it's 100% dead troops for the attacker, which is extra brutal, man. This city is looking really good for this defense. Oh my god. Dude, I want to see this report. I hope they gave it to us. And again, I got to give a big shout out to Myriad, who sent me this footage so that I could share it with you all about the Civil War. If you ever are watching a crazy Civil War and you're able to collect all the information about the Civil War, like the pictures that I showed you earlier with the Kingdom Mails, and you're able to record some footage, that would be absolutely amazing. Would love to include it in a video potentially. I'm more interested in big Imperium Civil Wars, like the one going on here, than your sort of average run-in-the-mill last 5 minutes Civil War. But anytime you can capture that footage, it is, of course, greatly appreciated. Thank you again to Myriad. Big shout out for getting this footage for me. You know, this sort of a thing, realistically, can take many, many, many hours to sort of unfold. So it is a lot of spectating for a few really crucial highlight moments like this right over here. GG. The emojis from the player and then the report. Oh, God. Let me manually scroll through this one here. Control the speed. So, yeah, 500 dead for the defender, and that's probably reinforcements to 50,000 dead for that attacker, Alex Sun Tzu. Nothing's wrong with that March combo, right? 600 dead for the defender, 50k dead for the attacker. GG. Here's another one. 1,000 dead to 57,000 dead. 600 dead to 55,000. 1,400 to 76,000. GG, bro. Man, that's just friggin' brutal. 3,000 to 64,000. So if you are going to swarm, by the time you get to like yellow, you should be thinking about stopping, especially a city that's just got so many troops in it. I mean, look, they only have 1 million troops at the time that player started swarming, but you know, 1 million troops is a lot more than you can have in your march. So you got to be swarming with just a lot of players, a lot of numbers for this to be a thing. Wow, yeah, some of this is T5s. Absolutely insane. In other Rise of Kingdoms news, by the way, did you know you could spawn this many barbs? I don't know what's going on here. My guess is that a bunch of low-powered cities are ported in this configuration. They summon every low-level barb they can, because when you're a player who's searching for low-level barbs, the game will just summon them out outside your city. And then what do? I don't know. Do you AoE barb farm these? Like, I don't what is the point of this? But I got like 300 messages, not even kidding, about this happening yesterday, and I was like, all right, I'll put it into a video. That's kind of funny. If you enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor, throw a like on here and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you again, Myriad, for sending me this information. As of this time, the kingdom is seeming to have died down with the amount of fighting that's going on. Let me show you in game. So this is their KVK, and currently their kingdom doesn't own the Zig. Now, initially, what was shared with me is that they had lost the Zig and they were losing their KVK, but I don't necessarily know if that's true. It could be that their allies now own the Zig, okay, and maybe they're doing a trade for the Zig at the end. So this might actually be a stable KVK situation. I'm not actually entirely sure. I don't see any fighting going on here. Although it is interesting, like if they are going to retake the Zig, or if they're supposed to get the Zig in 44, they're going to need to rebuild their flag. I mean, that's not so unachievable to just build a single flag, then they can take it. But I was under the impression that they had Zig and now they don't. I could be wrong about that. And then if we look at their home kingdom really quickly, things have really kind of died down, fighting outside the Lost Temple area. So hopefully, you know, things are under control here. Everything is fine, maybe. There is still some stuff burning. But this area, which is where the footage was captured and you saw earlier in the video, is now super, super tame. So it's all quiet on the war front for whatever that looks like. And a bunch of people here are not bubbled. A bunch of people are even gathering. So I'm inclined to believe that perhaps things have died down. So if you want to see an update to this situation, definitely let me know, and I could include that in a future video. And if you want to see what I was talking about earlier, where I was in Civil Wars with my account, where at one point I was threatened to either join the revolution or get zeroed myself, card will be in the end screen for a video for that. Also, in fact, I'll pick 2 videos, okay? Both cards in the end screen from that Civil War, which was just insane, okay? The very first time I had ever seen a counter rally on a rally was in that Civil War, all right? That's where it happened first. Card in the end screen.